All right, everyone. I have been personally waiting for this one because this has been very requested from you guys, and I feel like I am going to enjoy this creator's take because I've heard a lot of great things about them. So today, we are going to be diving into a video from this creator called Danielle, Facing in the Dark. A lot of muckers love Danielle. Danielle, if you see this, we love you. And I'm really intrigued because I saw this TikTok pop up where Danielle is talking about James Charles. And then I found out that Danielle actually has a YouTube channel as well, here we see, and has made a video called Why Hasn't James Charles, sorry, this breaking of the fourth wall, my live stream, it's crazy. Why James Charles hasn't been stopped. And so I started watching this and then I was like, you know what? We are going to go through this for a video. So again, Danielle, shout out to you. I will have Danielle's YouTube video and channel linked down below. And also, if you are in London, March 21st, it's a Saturday. No, you have plans because we are going to be hanging out at 500,000 Opinions, the show in London. I'm so excited to do it. It's going to be so much fun. Please get your tickets, come out and support. And also, my Patreon is still 30% off using the code YouTubeMucker. You will immediately get access to me reacting to Shane's movie, me reacting to the Ruby Frankie documentary, me reacting to Trisha's Broadway show, Escape the Night Season 1, 2, and 3 reactions. We're currently doing 4, and also Beast Game Season 1. So let's get into the TikTok first and foremost.
As how many young children and teenagers adore him and are fans of him. It doesn't matter how many people he has on his own team that are going to go through the comments and keep deleting things and keep reporting things and getting people's videos taken down and using threats to silence him and fear to silence him. It doesn't matter. He's not above the law.
Yes.
I am making a YouTube video today on all of the allegations against James and everything that's going on right now because I think it's very important to uplift victims and survivors' voices when they come forward and they are trying to share their story. They are trying to get justice. This is an essential time to be there for survivors.
Yeah.
So please, if you are not following and supporting Ethan, I will have him tagged below. Please watch all of his videos and go give him all of the love and all of the support. But a big thing that I'm going to be talking about today in my YouTube video, I wanted to share with you guys on here because I know a lot of you guys don't watch my YouTube video and that's totally fine. I make long YouTube videos about really distressing things. So I don't blame you guys at all, but this is really important information.
I'm loving her already.
If you are one of James Charles' victims, or you are in a similar position as James Charles victims, if you've been here yourself, I need you to know how you can put the power back in your hands. Collecting evidence and reporting. And that is a lot easier said than done. And of course, I'm going to be going over all of this in a lot more detail.
And also, even if these victims of James Charles only want to speak up like publicly on social media and stuff like that, that to me is still enough as well, you know? It just is so crazy to me that we did a deep dive video into this situation again a couple days ago on my channel where we went back on his deleted apology video. And I just think that there is something to be said about how he's able to truly not have to deal with things, you know? Distract people enough, befriend a new friend group, rebrand. These things are out there. People are aware of them. Even people in the mainstream are aware of them. But yet, he just kind of like doesn't have to really acknowledge it. It's so strange. It really is so strange.
Detail in my YouTube video. Collect your evidence, screenshots, messages, pictures, voice calls, voice memos, witnesses, witness statements, literally anything. Collect your evidence and report. Now, the first place that people go to usually when reporting these kinds of crimes is their local police, and that's absolutely an option. And I do think that you should do that, but there are other options outside of your local police because if you have been there and tried.
I wonder what Gage Gomez. Yeah, he always pops up on my TikTok as well. The guy from Coachella way back in 2019. I'm like, I can't believe we've been having these like very similar conversations about James Charles for a very long time now. Like, really?
To report these kinds of crimes, I have. And the police can be so very helpful and care so very much. But there are other avenues. And of course, like I said, I'm going to go into a lot more detail with these things in my YouTube video because I have more time there. But organizations like NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, are great and valuable resources when you find yourself in a situation like sextortion and blackmailing or online sex crimes, as well as like RAINN, which is the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, is a fantastic resource for sexual assault survivors. And another great one also is the FBI cyber tip line. If you feel like any criminal activity is happening online, you can report these things to these different organizations. Your abusers want you to feel completely scared and powerless because they are scared and know that they are actually powerless.
A good point.
Which is why they're abusers in the first place. But
A great
I wanted
point.
fellow survivors and victims.
And again, people on social media who continue to accuse people or downplay what people are saying by being like, you want clout or you just want attention or whatever, you're directly feeding into exactly the system that is set up against fucking victims, by the way.
To at least know that we do have at least
And when you do that, you're playing into people like James Charles's hands. Loser.
a little bit of power at our fingertips. And we can and should be using all of these resources. And if you see something, you can and should report that something. James Charles is not above the law.
All right, let's get into the video. Again, this will all be linked down below. This is, for me, the first time I'm watching this creator. But again, I've been hearing amazing things from the muckers. And I'm really excited to dive in. Danielle, let's see what you're saying.
Hi, sisters, and welcome back to my channel. I'm just joking, but now you know who we're talking about today, right? If you couldn't read the title and see the thumbnail, now you know.
Again, this will be linked down below.
Okay, hello, my fellow concerned friends, and welcome back to my channel, unless you're new to my channel, in which case, I'm sorry for the jump scare intro, but I've been struggling with how to introduce this video because I have so much anger inside that I cannot wait to unleash in this video. James Charles, a lot of—
Sorry, before we get into like more serious talk, can we have a moment for the bangs? The bangs are everything. The bangs are banging. I love baby bangs.
us kind of in a way grew up with James Charles. If you're anything like me, I learned how to do my makeup on YouTube in the 2010s. Some notable people that I can remember is like Jaclyn Hill back when she was relatable and
We talked about her tonight as well. Come on, Jaclyn Hill, who's doing very well by the looks of it right now.
actually had good makeup tips. Jeffree Star. But there was this one girl in particular, and this video is not about her, but if somebody could let me know in the comments.
It is crazy. Like, I mean, I watched those same people growing up as well. Well, I didn't watch Jaclyn. No shade, Jaclyn. But it is crazy to see like who we grew up watching on YouTube. Some crazy shit just being exposed to.
Who this was, because I have been spending years of my life trying to find her. Okay, she had blonde hair, blue eyes. I think she was like British or Australian. And number one thing is she had a big forehead. And I am saying that as a fellow big forehead queen, okay? The only reason I remember that is because she talked about how big her forehead was and how she specifically would like film her YouTube videos like this so that you wouldn't be able to see her forehead. But she always had slay makeup, like really cutesy makeup, but I can't remember her name. But if you were in the makeup influencer, beauty guru, skincare guru—
You think she's talking about Nikki Tutorials? Really? British girl. Nikki Tutorials isn't British. She's Danish, right? Tanya Burr wasn't blonde. Zoella, maybe? No. I don't know.
Beauty tips and tricks, whatever, era of YouTube, specifically in the 2016s, then you definitely saw the rise of James.
Hold on. I just want to pull my camera down a little bit because I'm enjoying slouching right now. So let me beep, beep, beep. Love it. Hey.
Charles. James Charles popped up and gained notoriety on YouTube in the
Whoa!
2016s. Then you definitely saw the rise of James Charles. James Charles popped—
Whoa! The fucking eyebrows are unbelievable. They are unbelievable. They are unfucking believable. This is your cover girl? Not my cover girl. Not my cover girl. Not my cover girl. Not my cover girl. I'm gonna go in the streets with a red hat. Well, he ain't my cover girl. He ain't my cover girl. Not my cover girl. Like, really crazy. Oh, also, before I forget, chat, Twitch, and also YouTube chat. I'm looking at both of you right now. I want to tell you something that I'm doing right now, and I'm so invested in it, and I really want some advice. I would love some advice, please, because I really, really, really want this. I have given myself a deadline. I've always wanted to drive. And obviously, you have to do your theory test. Now, I have booked in my theory test the 2nd of January, and I'm now giving myself from now until the 2nd of January to like ace my theory test. You know the way you do, what the fuck is a theory test? Is this UK only? What? You guys don't, the written test. What do you call, you do a written test as well, right? You do a written driver's test and then you do a physical driver's test. Where you in the UK, like you get 60 questions and you have to get at least like 53 of them correct or something, right? We have a similar, right? Yeah. Oh, it's just called a written test. We call it a theory test. So that is something I'm more scared of than the actual physical driving. I feel like I could get physical driving maybe like that, but anything to do with memory, theory, written, I just can't. So I have started revising as of last night, and I am doing my written test, my theory test, on the 2nd of January. So I'm gonna work until then on it. I really would want to drive. I really want to drive. I want to drive. If I get my driver's license, I'm moving back home to Ireland. Like, I'm being so serious, because I wouldn't drive in England. I would move back home, I would get a car, and I would base myself out of there. So does anyone have any advice? I've downloaded like a written app, which is like for like questions and stuff, and you do tests and stuff. Just study and be confident. God, I haven't studied. You know what's so crazy? I haven't studied since I was... Someone said she was referring to Angelica Oles. Is that true? In the British Girl? I have not studied since 2019. Crazy. Last time I studied was 2019. I have not studied since then. I've been out of education when it has came to a studying thing since 2019. Crazy. And like the process of getting back into the ability to be able to learn and revise is surprisingly harder than I would like to admit. Surprisingly harder than what I would like to admit. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, release them.
Popped up and gained notoriety on YouTube in the 2016s, and by October of 2016, he became CoverGirl. Now, James Charles being the CoverGirl, I remember personally sparked...
This photo is fucking... Like, why did we take this serious? If this is the male representation, I don't want it. In makeup. If this is going to be our male representation, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. This is a crazy image. It really is. It was a different time. Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I cannot believe this is real. I really cannot believe this is real. Sometimes I just sit with it, you know, and I just can't believe it. It's just not right.
Sparking so much outrage because at the time I had just moved into a super conservative, strict, religious Christian home. And like this was the sin of all sins. And it was around that same time that
It's a sin, but not for the reasons of him being gay or being a boy. It's a sin because of the makeup. They're right about it being a sin, just not the reasons they're thinking.
I was no longer allowed to watch James Charles or Nikki tutorials, or really, honestly, the majority of
it was
the
Nikki
makeup gurus,
tutorials.
because I was now in a Christian home. I got to follow these Christian values. I got to stop wearing pants. I got to stop wearing makeup. I got to take out all my piercings, and I definitely have to stop watching all of the shows with all these nasty sinners that I used to watch. Makes sense, doesn't it? James Charles being the CoverGirl was like the last thing that I ever had like heard or known about him, because when I became a Christian and I was forced into that lifestyle, I just adapted to it until I started to deconstruct. And then really in the last like 2-3 years, it's just
Deconstruct. What a great word. It's a good
me
word.
kind of like re-entering the secular sinner world. Okay. So it wasn't until I had reposted something of James Charles because I thought it was funny. I related to it. I think it was the one
Oh
where he was
no,
like, freaking
girl.
out over Trump being the president. And somebody screenshotted that and they commented on my video. It was like, why are you reposting his stuff?
You're telling me that this individual who stands before me didn't get to experience Bi-Sister? I think that that is one of the worst things that someone could like in our terms, that's one of the worst things that could happen to someone. Not having experienced the Bi-Sister. I would not be who I am today. You also missed it? Hi. Really, really high. You missed out on history. You missed out on herstory.
Stuff when you should know everything that he did. And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, like him being gay, like I'm so sorry, but I deconstructed from those beliefs and I don't agree with you. And that was when I like looked into it. I'm like, what, like, why do people have a problem with James Charles? And bam, 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 holy crap. And I didn't say anything then because I have seen how James treats people who speaks out against him.
Let's do it, baby. I know the law.
But at the end of the day, these are real victims who deserve a voice.
Yeah.
And why would I be scared of James Charles? James Charles, sue me, I guess. Go ahead. Sue me, a mother. Go sue a little old mom simply talking about the nasty.
You're a mom? Sistery. 2 kids? Good for you.
Things that you did. Okay, sue me. I'm not even gonna say alleged because in your own apology video, you admitted to it. You just had a million excuses as to why it was okay and justified somehow. So go ahead, sue me. I really hope I do not regret saying that. But yeah, when that person made that comment and was like, why are you supporting him? And I looked into it, that's when I saw that this.
It's also so crazy because to look into James Charles being called out, like all these things are pretty widely popularly known, that like it's crazy that he just kind of has the same career that he's always had, and like these things are easily accessible to find out about him. It's just crazy to think about.
Man, who, mind you, is the same age as me. Me and James Charles are the same age. I am 13 days older than this man. I am 13 days older than him. That while
it's also funny because again, so many people love to like infantilize James to allow him away with things, but then you have people that are his age, and I mean, I'm probably not far off his age as well. What time is he? Let me see. He is James Charles' age. Oh, he's 26. James is 26. 26. All right. So he's 3 years older than me.
I was having.
Did I say what time is he?
He was trying to get with children. Yeah. In 2020, when James Charles.
Shut up. Shut up. You're so annoying. You're so annoying.
21 years old, he was reaching out.
Oh my God. Also, I saw James Charles's brother, Ian, pop up on my Instagram. He's like actually a model now. He does modeling. Let me see if I can find. His name is Ian Jeffrey. And I'm like, I know he doesn't want that Charles. Ian Jeffrey. Here he is. 1 million. He does modeling. That's crazy. I remember him doing videos with James. Crazy stuff. Good for him. Good for him. It is telling that like his brother is so famous, James Charles, and he still chooses not to have the name Charles.
To boys on Instagram by finding them through TikTok and grooming and coercing them into conversations on other platforms, specifically Snapchat, where he would then groom them into having a friendship.
It's also really crazy as well because I would say that Snapchat is kind of popularly widely known as like, it can be interpreted by a lot of people as like the more risque app because of the like disappearing messages of it all.
And eventually expose himself to these young boys, even going as far as inviting these young boys to fly to LA.
Jesus Christ.
to hang out with him at 21 years old.
Oh, James Charles is his middle name.
Now, we don't know that this is happening until 2021, but I want us to back
Oh, it's Dickinson. You're right. Oh, you know what, boys? To both of them, yeah. Yeah, I understand.
pedal a little bit here because actually we were warned about this as early as 2019 when
Yeah.
Tati Westbrook posted this YouTube video labeled Bye Sister, where she explained
You just remember where you were. It was history. It was history.
some very concerning behaviors that she has witnessed firsthand from James Charles. So this video, Bye Sister, was actually posted May 10th, 2019. So that was my
Dickinson.
20th birthday, about a year before these allegations against James even came out. By the way, May 10th, 2019 would have been 13 days before James' 20th birthday. So essentially the whole reason that Tati Westbrook made this YouTube video, from the research that I can do, because like I said, I was indoctrinated at the time and I was very, very only socializing with my church. I missed out on a lot of cultural information, I'm not gonna lie. So please forgive me if not
Jesus.
all the intricate
It's actually incredibly impressive that she makes videos on all this stuff and she wasn't like around for all that time, because that's a lot to catch up on. Good for you. Like, I mean, that's hard.
details of Sugar Bear hair are correct, because I don't think that that's really the whole point of this video. Who cares about Sugar Bear hair? Okay. Anyway,
Tati.
the whole reason Tati originally made this video, Bye Sister, was because there was like some online beef in the beauty community with this, I think a hair care like supplement called Sugar Bear hair. It was like sponsored by like the Kardashians. I think it was sponsored by Kylie Kardashian.
Remember seeing the Sugar Bear hairs everywhere? You would see a Kardashian like that. It's like not even in their mouth. Sucking dick and cock, and you did it at my birthday dinner. The amount of times I've listened to that one excerpt because it was on the PowerPoint of the show, crazy. I could do the entire thing. I would do it live every single night.
Wait, that doesn't sound right. Is her name Kylie Kardashian?
Jenner.
Kylie.
Time and place, and you did it at my
It's
birthday
Kylie
dinner.
Kylie Jenner sponsored it. I think like maybe Khloe Kardashian. I don't know. A lot of like influencers and celebrities were sponsoring this product called Sugar Bear hair. And something happened between Tati and James where I guess Tati felt like James was like trying to like steal her sponsorship. Just stupid influencer drama.
Again, we've talked about it so much that we don't need to rehash it. But looking back, it's like, Tati, like, as gorgeous as you were in the video, I mean, like, grow up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like in that stage, James was the 19-year-old and you were like the 30 or 40-year-old woman. And like for Shane and Jeffree as well, like all of you, like, grow up. I don't think that they made the video because they actually thought he was a predator, no matter how much Jeffree says that now. I think that unfortunately James fits the mold that they were trying to put out.
Okay, with this Sugar Bear hair thing. However, in this video labeled Bye Sister, Tati goes into some behaviors that James is displaying that I think in 2025 really shine light on the fact that we should absolutely be believing these children, these boys who are coming forward and saying, this happened to me. Because a grown woman in 2019 was already calling out these behaviors. So what behaviors am I talking about? You may be asking yourself. Don't worry, because
And I also don't hold much credibility to Tati's or Jeffree or Shane's word, considering how much Jeffree leverages that he has voice recording, of, you know, a victim of James Charles talking about their experience. But then all he does is go on podcast tours talking about the fact he has it, which is like dangling someone's story as like your leverage for people not to like someone. Very weird. And Jeffree, who also has his own allegations against him.
I took notes. Start in this video, Bye Sister, at minute marker around 22 minutes. She mentioned some concerning behaviors that she feels is concerning between James and his audience.
I think one of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this video is because all of us are
God, she looked so good. I mean, you've gotta give her her tens. You've gotta give her the tens. And the Jeffree Star PR box in the background, she was playing nasty. I mean, this face, the hair, the outfit, the nails, the lashes, just the lighting, unbelievable. She really did her big one. You know what? Sometimes you walk in public and you get seen by someone you don't want to see and you're like, I look like shit right now. I wish I looked my best. Like, I wish on this kind of day when so many people would perceive me, I would look my best. This was her biggest video. It went fucking mega viral. all these fucking millions of views, and you know what? She looked good as fuck.
somehow forgetting that his audience is made up of 12 to 14-year-olds, like dominantly, and he is role modeling to them his behavior. His behavior online is what they are seeing and what they are emulating as.
It is also crazy to me that she only decided to talk up about being so worried about these things because she was concerned for him, but then she only did it because of Sugar Bear hair. So it was like, would you have allowed him to do these things without calling him out if he hadn't done the Sugar Bear hair? Yeah, by your narrative.
How they should behave to be successful and adored by the masses. Everything.
She didn't say anything about him being weird with minors. It was mostly about him going after the straight waiter, who she had no way to know was straight. Yeah, I do think that a lot of people reference this video and they reference it in a way of like it was telling a story of the minors. I don't think that that is the case at all. I think that it's being used to show kind of the like pressuring or the way that he handles relationships with men, or in more often cases than not, boys.
Is over-sexualized, and that's the huge underlayer to this all, that I finally have had enough. The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday.
Okay, we're gonna get to the whole birthday and Seattle situation in a
And
couple
you
minutes.
did
But
it
you hear
at
that?
my goddamn birthday.
This full-grown woman, Tati Westbrook, which if you watch this video, she talks about her and James' relationship in which she was kind of like his role model, his mentor,
Should
kind of like
be
his
a
mom
father
figure,
figure.
right? Which we'll get into how she feels about his parents later, okay? Because it's all applicable and
I can't believe she dragged his parents and by his sister. That was crazy. I remember in the moment being like, ooh, low blow, girl, low blow.
all relevant. But this grown woman who is a mother figure to James Charles in
Father
2019
figure.
was telling us, telling the viewers, telling James Charles' audience that, hey, what he is doing is bad. He is being over-sexual to his young audience. Even she can recognize that his audience is young people.
Yeah.
Like kids.
Everyone knows it.
teenagers. And if we're all
Anyone who doesn't want to acknowledge that, I don't care to have a conversation with, because we're not living in the real world. If you're saying that James Charles's audience isn't young kids, come on.
all gonna be honest and logical here, we don't get to tell her that she is wrong and she may be reading too much into it and stuff based off of content that we have seen of James. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody who was close to James, somebody who was a mother figure, a mentor to James. So if she has had these private conversations with him about the things that he has posted and how she feels about the content that
Fair
he is
enough.
posting in regards to his audience, then there very well may be things that he was planning on posting that he didn't, because he might have listened to her mentorship. And yet she is still sitting here saying it is still a problem. So we don't get to say that she is wrong, especially you really don't get to say that she's wrong, especially because all of these things that she is warning in 2019 freaking happened. Okay, so let's move on.
That's what I'm saying. The worst thing for James Charles is that he responded to By Sister with one of the most incredible drag videos ever, No More Lies. But then he ultimately kind of became the evil that he was accused of.
To the weird stuff that he was saying, okay, because there's a lot to unpack in this video, and it's all relevant because it all really paints, I think, a very clear and plain picture about the exact kind of person James Charles is. Because James Charles is not just a gay man trying to find his way in a very straight and anti-queer world. That's not what's happening. He is a predator, allegedly, even though I just said sue me, but he is a predator. He specifically finds subjects.
I mean, he's openly said, by the way, that he used his For You page as a dating app because he was desperate, in his own words, mind you.
To go after that are off limits. And that is the thing, in my opinion, the way that I see this, in my opinion, I'm not saying this is what's happening, I'm saying in my opinion, in my opinion, in my opinion, that's what's getting him off. He likes that feeling of this is untouchable and I shouldn't touch it. So let me see how
Interesting.
close I can get to touching it. And I think when I show you this next part, and I mean, really, this entire video should prove that for you. And people like that are dangerous. I don't care how funny they are, because this is a big thing.
Yeah, that's such an interesting point. For him to admit that, like, he was using his For You page to reach out to these people, why is his For You page mostly then young boys doing thirst traps? Like, that's so funny because, I mean, if I was held at gunpoint right now and you were like, open your TikTok, let me see what, like, my For You page is. All right, so let me refresh my For You page. So the first thing that comes up is someone singing karaoke. The next one is Taylor Swift. The next one is Perez Hilton. We have, if you and your friends are bored, book a studio and sing a little song. We have a Jaclyn Hill video actually coming up. Jaclyn Hill, you're not shadow banned. People just aren't interested. And we have a lot of property agent videos coming up. And oh, if Chloe's watching, our friend pops up. Like, your For You page is curated. So, like, why are you getting enough people's thirst traps that you're able to use it as a dating app? Could you imagine I use my one as a dating app? I would be waiting in, like, professional business verified DMs. Like,
and the same thing with like how I reposted one of his videos is he is memeable.
I've never thought about that before. Him admitting that this is a For You page thing is almost weirder.
He is memeable. And he says things and does things that are outrageous, like the way he sings, his dancing, like it's memeable, and he does it on purpose because he knows he has a young audience that will memify him. Really funny people can be really bad people. Really good singers can be really bad people, okay? Really great speakers can be really bad people. Really great authors can be really bad people. People who can make fantastic, hard-hitting movies and still be bad people, okay? Just because some bad people may have good qualities in them does not dismiss
your
the
algorithm is
danger
shaped with what
that
you
they
interact
are
with.
to society, especially when they're coming after little kids.
He said some things telling me about a situation
God,
that
she
happened in
looks so
Seattle on my
gorgeous.
birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit.
Also, whenever I did this show in Seattle, I got to be like, guys, we're where it happened.
Oh my God, you tried to trick a
Tricking a
straight
straight
man
boy.
into thinking he's gay yet
again.
again. And somehow
You're the victim.
You know, it's really disgusting to manipulate someone's sexuality, especially when they are still,
You know what's so crazy? That she became the spokesperson for like people figuring out their identities when this guy was clearly saying that he was bi-curious. Like, Tati, you know, we're at a 10 right now. We need to be down at a 3. Like, this video has its elements of feeling very like weird and like overstepping.
emerging into adulthood and don't quite have everything figured out. You are using your fame, your power, your money to play with people's emotions. You're threatening to ruin them. You're threatening to embarrass them. And you're doing that to have them behave sexually in your favor, even if they're straight. And you know what? That's not okay. That behavior is not okay. Whether you're a woman, a man, gay, straight, bi, whatever sexual.
I love when she does that. She goes, no matter gay, straight, or bi, lesbian, transgender. I love it. She starts listing them all off. And you know she was rehearsing before.
Orientation you are, that is your personal call, and it is not someone else's to take. It's not someone else's to play with. It's not someone else's to mess with. And how dare you laugh about it and make
meme after meme, and I love straight boy,
meme after meme and retweet and this and that, and I love straight boys, and make it a joke. Because this behavior is not normal. It's not okay.
She's talking about such serious things, but her way of telling it is so fucking over the top ridiculous that it's like, girl, you're like, I'm giggling at the memes.
Okay? Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room.
Yes, you heard that right. But in case
Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room is a crazy bonkers line.
you forgot, let me read it for you. You try to trick a straight man into being gay again, and somehow you're the victim. What is a predator? Hello? Like, I think that he has this weird thing in his head where he's like, if it's off limits, I'm going to go for it. And what it appears to me that he started with straight men. That's off limits. That's hard to get.
And you know what the worst thing is? Like, you could be like, well, actually, that's not true because that Seattle waiter said he was bi. But then after bi sister, James proceeded to flirt with and get in situations with straight guys. So then it was like, oh, it actually is true now. No worries. Dude, like.
But I'm sure I can manipulate them. I can coerce them. I can change them, right? That is a predator. What else would you call that? Genuinely, somebody let me know. What else would you call that? What else would you call that? Because not even imagine. Men do that. Men target lesbians and are like, I can change her.
Yeah, that is very true. And I talk with Neve about this all the time, which is a lot of like lesbians will have straight men be like, oh, well, you just haven't found the right one. And it is so fucking wrong. It's so fucked up.
That's dangerous. You're a danger. You're weird.
Like, you're straight until you find me because I'm the right one.
You're not a safe.
It's so
you
fucked
have
up.
Like a sexual deviance. Like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Where it's like your sex drive drives your morality into the pits of hell.
Yeah.
That is predatory. I don't care if it's a 21-year-old straight man and a 21-year-old James Charles. Like, if James is going after him specifically because he is a straight man and that's hard to get and he can try to coerce and manipulate, that's predatory. It's a predatory. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. That is predatory. And he was doing this in 2019. And then when she said, "You are using your fame to play with people's emotions, threatening them to behave sexually in your favor, even though they're straight." This was in 2019, guys, where apparently he, in his own personal life, his own personal like friend circle, where he felt safe enough to be his real self, already made it very known that he is not opposed to threatening people into silence, threatening people and coercing people into getting what he wants. To the point that Tati felt the need to come forward and talk about this. So it's like, how many other people
There also is something important to note that for her saying it in the video means that it was significant enough behind the scenes for it to become an integral part of the video.
are
It's a
still
great
in his
point
life
from
that have
Danielle.
even more secrets on him that won't come forward out of fear or out of camaraderie or whatever. This is sick. This is sick. Literally, we were warned about all of this in 2019. Tati then goes on to talk about how he told his dad, James Charles told his dad, that basically he thinks that all men are at least a little gay, right? And then his dad's like, "I don't know." And then proceeded to make like really
Typical conversation to have with your father. No worries.
grotesque, vile, like I guess like sexual jokes at a dinner with his own parents.
Loved meeting his parents. I was shocked that James even then was saying to his dad that every man is a little bit gay and that there's no such thing as a straight man. And, you know, his dad's like, "You're wrong."
I feel like the James situation would probably have been taken more public by the more serious by the public. Hello, if like her portrayal of this wasn't so like memeable.
"James, you're wrong." If someone who is
Like,
very
why is
masculine
she putting on voices?
and has been with women, decides that they're bisexual, that they want to explore, that's fine. Like, so be it. But again,
Ally.
it's just like, it's not yours to take. So talking about that at the dinner table with his parents was kind of weird. Him talking explicitly about sex and things that he
would like to do
and,
to
like,
the
I mean, like,
waiter.
I was just like, I was like, "Oh my god,
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh
So
my
to
god.
answer the question
Oh my god, I remember doing that every night. I remember being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
on everybody's mind, because I've seen the question asked a few times, it's like, I wonder what James Charles' parents would think. I
Having a Coke and red wine in honor of Adam. I hope you enjoy that.
wonder what James Charles, how could they support him? I mean, I think that they know. Based off of this, I think that they know the kind of person their son is. And I think you should know that there are some people out there who love their kids so much that there is literally nothing that they could do wrong in their eyes.
Also, if that kid is a huge moneymaker, don't want to piss that off. You don't want to poke that bear.
Yeah. But now we're going to move on to the part in Tati's video where she is talking about her birthday dinner and what James did at her birthday dinner. So I'll let
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
her take it away from
not behave this way. Like, it was just like, no big deal.
Deal.
Like, sucking dick.
Okay.
Like, I'm just like, oh my god, time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. And I made excuses for you.
And I made excuses for you then. And when I said, James, he's straight, you said, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking gross. I had to call everyone up the next day and apologize on your behalf. Love it.
You then. You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking gross.
Everyone get out your notebooks. Get out your notebooks. Write it down. Quote James Charles saying, "It doesn't matter. I'm a celebrity." He genuinely believes he can get away with anything because he has notoriety, because he has a name, because he's a household name, which honestly, is he a household name anymore? Like, I know, like, back when I was a teenager, he was definitely like a
I feel like James Charles's career might be like statistically bigger now, but I don't even know if that's true. I would say that James Charles was more famous in my eyes during the CoverGirl days than he is now.
household name amongst like teens who were into makeup, but like this was years ago. He's more famous now. Okay, let's not let that sink in. This was years ago when he was famous, but not like the James Charles that we think of now, right? Like the James Charles who like owns
Y'all, we need to let that sink in, like she was saying. Let it in. Come on.
his own, like, does he own his own makeup brand? I don't know. I know he has like the beauty blenders and like the painted palette or whatever, but he is more famous now. And years ago, he was already like, I'm a celebrity. I can do whatever I want, while preying on straight men. Straight men just trying to do their job at a restaurant. And by the way, this was your friend's birthday. Imagine literally sitting at your friend's birthday dinner.
And they did it there. Could you imagine? And you did it at my birthday dinner.
And just
Sucking
talking about
dick
how
and
much you
cock.
wanted to take advantage of the waitress. That's weird. Jen, think about that. That's weird. If that's like the memory that you leave your fellow companions with from that birthday dinner, that makes you weird.
God, the word birthday dinner is just so ruined for me.
Like, that's weird. That is so weird. Eat your food and talk about makeup or something besides preying on straight men.
James Charles's parents left my home. You know, Christy, you grabbed my hand and you said,
Ooh, I remember being gagged back in 2019 when she started speaking to James's mom. I was like, ooh, fuck, she didn't. I remember being like, damn. I remember being like, whoa, we're taking it there. Because I'm like, damn, we're getting down and personal. I hate this bit. I'm gonna be honest. I hate this bit as well. I really think that, like, because her intentions obviously weren't from a good place. And I think using your, like, mentorship power to then, like, talk shit about his parent is, like, you could say that you're equally responsible because you were his mentor.
you know, thank you for looking out for my boys. Like, keep looking out for them. And I have. And, like, I'm handing that back to you. Like,
This bit was so...
you need to not be on Instagram liking comments and sharing with people that you're disappointed that I'm upset. You need to be not on Instagram. You need to be here in LA because your boys need you.
You need to get off Instagram. You need to come to
Oof. I have a different perspective, obviously, on this than Danielle has. But let me tell you, whenever I first reacted to this, I was like this. I was like, that's so gaggy or whatever. The more I rewatch it, the more I'm like, oof, that was a low blow. Like, keep in mind the things we know about James Charles. He hadn't technically, from our knowledge, done any of them yet that it was like, oh, this feels a little bit unnecessary. You know, you're actively admitting there that James's parents, you know, handed him off to you basically to raise him in LA because he was huge. And Tati was gaining so much off of being friends with James and mentoring him, you know, him promoting her and stuff like this, collabs, that it just feels so shitty for her to do that. I'm going to be honest.
LA because your boys need you. Yes, Tati. Now, I'm saying all.
Yeah, because I think about that, like, in terms of, you know, he was 19, about to be 20. Whenever I was 19 or 20, if someone had dared try to say, if, like, Colleen had said, like, Sinead, go back, your kid needs you, I'm an adult, fuck you, you know what I mean? Don't be condescending to me. So that's why I look at this part in the Tati video now with, like, ugh.
All this and I'm cheering her on. Does Tati have controversy? Does she have allegations? Because I don't want to be sitting here. I'm scared I'm going to post this video and everybody's going to tear me apart. but y'all already do every video that I post anyway, so whatever. I think his parents know. I think his parents are fully well aware of the kind of person he is, and I think they just don't care. I think that they, like, basically bred this into him. This is how he was raised. He was raised that I can get away with anything, and I'm going to still be viewed as this perfect little angel, and I can blame it on somebody else. I can blame it on something
Makes
else
sense.
if there is someone else. Like, we'll see later on in this video, whenever we start to actually get into these allegations against children.
That's a private conversation or a text message, not a footnote in a video. Yeah, I mean, it was known, just it was done just to be like a little shady job.
And he says he just didn't know. He just didn't know. He just couldn't tell. I'm sorry. James, we're the same age. You know full well when a teenager is a teenager. They look like a teen.
And again, we went through Ethan's old video. Ethan, obviously, who, you know, has brought this up, which is what started the conversation again. Thank God. You know, the video of him when he's like 14, 15, 16, he looks like a 14-year-old kid. It's so sick. Like, the idea of not being able to tell when someone under 18 looks under 18 is, I think, something within yourself you need to work on.
Teenager. They do. They do. Right, so now we're going to fast forward the timeline from 2019 when Tati posted this video originally to 2021 when multiple victims came forward accusing James of inappropriate Snapchats. For instance, a boy in February named Isaiah came forward claiming that James sent him explicit messages and asked for those messages to be reciprocated.
If you're unsure about someone's age, just don't interact with them. If you feel the need, like I said in my video a couple days ago, if James feels the need that the safest thing he can do when texting with someone is to immediately ask their ID, I don't think that you should be talking to people where you need to ask for someone's ID, because that clearly indicates that you're looking at people who are very young.
While Isaiah was only 16 years old, And James knew that he
Remember the age check texts? Yeah, if they're real, the ones where James allegedly sent age check when talking to someone, what are we doing?
16 years old, allegedly. James later tweeted saying that he was lying about his age, in which case I'm going to keep saying this over and over, but buddy boy, teenagers look like teenagers, dude. There's no excuse. There is literally no excuse. Like, they look like teenagers. They do.
Yeah.
In March, there were other boys who came forward with similar or the same allegations, which led to James making this
And Snapchat as a main communication platform is a choice.
egregious
Yes.
YouTube video
It's intentional.
about holding himself accountable.
Lack of documentation.
Where he doesn't hold himself accountable at all. He basically just admits to all of everything and then says, but it wasn't my fault. Whoopsie doosey. Poor me. I'll do better in the future. Baloney. I call baloney, James. I call baloney. I think 100% you probably clicked on their profile. I mean, like, we're talking about James Charles. Do we really actually think about it for a second, right? Someone who is a celebrity, someone who has all kinds of power and fame. Do we really think that James Charles, somebody like James Charles, is just going to be messaging and flirting with random people when he doesn't really know what they look like? Do we really?
It's a great point, and I've never once ever thought that James hasn't been aware of what he's been doing. Specifically, considering when he has been messaging some of these boys, some of them said they had their ages in their bio. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I believe that all blame is on Daft Noodles here, wanting clout and creating an environment where anyone could lie that they were a victim of James and get posted on the Daft Noodles popular Twitter account, which then led to the burying of real stories and James being able to pass it all off as fake news.
Actually think logically? Do we really think that James Charles is so dumb that he is going to find somebody that he likes on TikTok? Because I'll explain this later. This is his pattern.
With
of
a
behavior.
For You page
He
as
finds
well.
somebody on TikTok,
Stupid.
a thirst trap, if you will, which I'm not even going to. I understand that on the Banging Out podcast.
Again, I just don't understand how you can openly admit that your For You page is these people. So what you're admitting is that you're getting thirst traps of like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old boys. What kind of content are you fucking interacting with, dude? What kind of content are you interacting with? It really is so bonkers.
I watched it. I will get into that later. Kayla and Jacob were like referring to what Ethan did as a
Also, yeah, Kayla and what's his name? Jacob Sartorius apparently interviewed Ethan. I do want to get around to
thirst
that as
trap,
well.
and I think that that's inappropriate to call something that a child did with a childlike mindset a thirst trap. Like, the child was just doing it's just semantics, and I don't like it, but that's what people are. I don't like that. I can't find the words
Yeah,
to be
shout
able
out
to
to
describe
Kayla.
why it feels wrong. But it feels wrong. It feels a little bit victim blamey. I can't lie, because I feel like saying that a kid was making a thirst trap is almost saying that the kid set up the trap. And I don't know if it's just because thirst trap has the word trap in it. We're talking about a child who was victimized by somebody, but
Also, yeah, I mean, thirst trap in this connotation is wildly inappropriate, and that's why it's shocking that it applies in this situation. But I mean, it's very, very, very yucky to have both of those things in similar context.
I don't like that. Okay, let's not call children emulating what adults are doing thirst traps. A kid is just emulating what he's seeing, she is seeing adults doing. Okay, and now I've gone on.
I love this comment. I'm fully employed. Who's Daft Noodles? God, do you know what I would give to live like you?
Such a sidetrack. I can't even remember what I was going to say. Let me take a second to regather my thoughts. Okay, so that's James's thing is like he sees children doing dances on TikTok that he is attracted to, and then he just immediately messages them. Let's use our brains for a second, guys. Okay.
And then if that isn't what he's doing and it's videos of them just going about their day, that's even weirder, because why are you interested in what a 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old is doing in their day?
How do you message people on TikTok? How do you message people on TikTok? You have to what? Go to their profile.
Yep.
How do you find people's Instagrams or Snapchats or YouTube videos on TikTok? Unless, with the exception of them explicitly stating, here's my Snap, Instagram, and YouTube on the video itself, how do you find those things? You have to swipe over and go to the profile, don't you?
Yeah.
And didn't he just say that if he had done that, then he would have known their ages? So if you found these people, these boys, if you found these boys on TikTok, and then went to other platforms to communicate with them, you had to have swiped over on their account at least at some point.
I don't think there's a world in which I'm not under the belief, and this is my personal belief, that James Charles did know these things about these guys it was only when they brought attention to, I'm this age or whatever, that James stopped communicating with them. That's honestly just my take on it. There's been too many examples. There's been too many people. There's been too many non-conflicting stories, if you know what I mean, like ones that like match up. It feels it's icky.
Which to me completely negates the whole I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know,
totally.
because if I'm being frank, I don't believe you.
I don't either.
I don't believe you that you are a famous celebrity and you're just messaging random people without knowing what they look like because you're just so desperate for love. I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a second, because I think that if you were a normal, well-adjusted person with the kind of fame and status that you have, you would absolutely be able to find somebody your age to go on at least a couple meaningful dates with. I don't believe you. I do not believe that the dating scene is so hard for queer people in LA that they have to start messaging for
being one of the biggest influencers in one of the influencer-centered cities, but yet you have to resort to messaging kids on TikTok. But it's always been a coincidence. It's great. It's great framing and I mean, ow, I'm trying to fix this chair. I mean, it's a great point from Danielle here. I mean, you can say it's the framing of what she's, framing it as, but it's true.
For queer celebrities in LA, that they have to resort to messaging random anonymous strangers that they saw one video of them
literally
on TikTok. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. You're a liar. You're a liar. You knew their ages. You had to have swiped over on their accounts at least once.
I think that James Charles, in my opinion, and my take on him, is that he would date anyone in which he is the most famous one and most rich one in the group. I think he, in my opinion, at least what I gather from my opinion of him, is that he really is someone who gets off on the power dynamic of him being the other person being dependent on him or looking up to him in some way.
Let alone it being multiple fucking victims. Bullshit. I don't fucking believe you. He also apologizes like multiple times in the video by using language like, if I made you uncomfortable, if I, that's not taking accountability. That's not taking personal responsibility. When somebody tells you, you hurt me, taking accountability is not saying, well, I'm sorry if I did. No, They just told you you did. They just told you you did. It's not a matter of if, you did. So if you're actually taking accountability for something, if you actually feel remorse, if you're actually like, oh my God, I did that, and that's definitely not the kind of person that I want to be, you would be taken aback by your own actions.
Yep.
You would genuinely be trying to right your wrongs and like, I hurt you and I'm so sorry. You wouldn't say, well, I mean, if I hurt you. That tells me that he genuinely does not see anything morally and basically wrong with his actions. He's only coming online. He is only taking accountability because everyone else is telling him that it's wrong. He doesn't actually believe that it's wrong, or he wouldn't be using language like, if I hurt you, if I made you uncomfortable.
I completely agree.
If this upset you, it did. And you know that because you have to come online and make this apology because your victims had to come forward and say that it hurt them. So why are you using language like if? That's
also such a great point, which is like, when these people are forced in a way to make these videos and then they're addressing it and they're like, well, I'm finally got to take accountability. And then it's like, oh, you don't even believe that you have to be right now. You're saying that you don't believe, but they believe. So you're saying if you feel that way.
Accountability. That is, I have to make this video to save my own face and save my career.
Yes.
And my ego is too big subconsciously that I can't even get out an authentic fake lie. Like his conscience is eating him so hard.
That's also my favorite thing when people say if you're offended or whatever in apologies, because I'm like, wow, are you that up your own arse that you can't say, you get rid of those words? You can just not say those words.
That he can't even fully authentically come up with a lie to say a genuine fake apology because that little word if keeps creeping out.
Yeah.
He also mentions multiple times in this video about how he's desperate and that's what led him to go down this road.
Because
and he's so careless.
I'm desperate.
But again, like, I don't believe you. I'm just gonna be honest. I think you're a liar. There's no way. There's no way. You live in LA and you're the James Charles and literally nobody likes you. Number one, if that's actually true, go to therapy. Don't start dating through TikTok. And number two, I just don't believe you. And if that's true, it's probably because all of the people around you see that you're a predatory creep and they're running far away, which leads me back to my first point of go to therapy. Figure out, why are all these people leaving me? Why does nobody like me? What am I doing that is scaring people away? I don't know. Start there. And also, unless you are a pedophile, desperation doesn't lead you to pedophilia. Never has, never will.
Details of the interaction really don't matter because I fucked up and I needed to take accountability for my actions and most importantly apologize to the people that were affected by them. These conversations should have never happened, point blank period. There's no excuse for it, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, and I take full responsibility for that. I trusted the information that was given to me.
Again, I don't want to comment too much on this James video because we just did a video where I went through the entire thing, but it is crazy to me that he admits to basically everything and just was able to delete this video and everyone was like, no worries.
Rather than information I could have and should have gotten myself. In both of these situations, doing research into these people's public social media profiles would have revealed their true ages, and therefore these conversations would have never happened in the first place. I'm desperate. I do understand that with these videos coming to light, it's really starting to, not even starting, it's really looking, period, like I'm actively searching
It's
for
just so
younger people to be in a relationship
embarrassing.
with. And I just want to say firsthand that is absolutely not the case. My hope has always been to be in a relationship with somebody around my age or older that I can relate to and that can make me laugh. And unfortunately,
Again, I said this in my video yesterday, but he literally went on Logan Paul's podcast and I'm pretty sure he said, like, I would date the absolute youngest.
I've not been able to find that person yet, but the idea of actually being in a relationship became so important to me that I was willing to trust too quickly,
I was willing to, you were willing to what? Message kids?
miss out on red flags, and most importantly, not take the precautionary measures that really anybody, but especially somebody with a public platform, should be taking before talking to anybody. And there's no excuse
Ridiculous.
for that.
I mean, he got one thing right. There is no excuse for this behavior, although he excused his behavior, didn't he? He excused it, didn't he? Because he was just desperate and he's lonely. And
Good
what
point.
he actually wants is somebody older than him or the same age as him. So why are you not going after people older than you? Because you're lying. Because if you're actually attracted to people who are older than you, then you wouldn't be turned on by thirst traps of kids. If you're actually desiring to be with somebody older than you, then if anything, you would be attracted to and like messaging people who are doing thirst traps that look older
Yeah.
than you, which is definitely not children. It
Yep.
could be somebody your age that looks 30, and then you might be shocked and be like, oh my gosh, you're 20. Look, you
It really is crazy that he likes to put out the narrative that, you know, he really likes older guys when the track history of him being called out has always been because they've been so young.
look exactly my type. Nobody who has a thing for people older than them would be like, wow, I'm just so lonely and desperate, I should go for children. You are, you're a pedophile. If you think that way and you justify that this way, you're a pedophile. I'm not even sorry to break it to you. You're not attracted to older people. You literally only said that to try to like throw the dog bone that way to get the wolves to run that way. Okay? That doesn't logically make sense. It might, when your audience was and is young kids and teenagers, it might make sense, but it does not to me. Okay? As a child sexual abuse survivor, as somebody who was groomed online by weirdo men just like this, and has finally healed from that and can see things the way that they are, I see this exactly how it is. And this is just so many excuses to excuse the fact that you were targeting boys,
Again, excuses,
Not
just
young
being
men.
excuses.
not young men. And to the survivors of James who may be listening to this and don't like that I'm calling them boys, I'm sorry, but that is what you were. You weren't a young man, you were a child. You were a little boy who was taken advantage of by somebody in a position of wealth,
Yeah.
of fame, of notoriety, and specifically of power. And as James
And again, said person admitted to this and there was no repercussions. Like at all.
himself said, there was no excuse for him to take advantage of you. He then goes on in his apology video to promise us that he'll stop being a predator.
Again, I said this. It's so crazy to me how these people are so fake that in videos where they're having to be addressing specific people, they will mainly address the audience and the fans, which inherently just shows that they just don't want you to leave.
And then he apologizes because he already had
Hi from
promised
Dublin,
to stop being
hi.
a predator, and then he didn't, and he's just so disappointed in himself, and he's just so sorry, and he just really hopes that we can forgive him and believe him that he won't do it again. He promises fuck off, man, fuck off. You did it once, you did it again, like, hello?
I need to be aware of my platform at all times. I didn't understand how a situation
Shout
like
out
this
to
could have people
Dublin.
involved, but now I do. And for that, to the victims, I'm so sorry. And
He says to the victims. Like, why do we have to be having this back and forth about whether people believe, like, Ethan and stuff? James is sitting his ass down here and saying to the victims of James Charles.
promise that something like this will never, ever
I don't get
happen
it.
again.
Did you catch that? To the what? To the what? To the victim. Because here's my thing, right? If it was a genuine mistake, like you genuinely did not know that this person was a child, because let's not be obtuse, this definitely happens where a child will pretend to be an adult and engage in a relationship
God,
with
from
an
Cunty
adult, and the
Tyrone.
adult genuinely may not know that
Neighbor.
they're talking to a child, right? Maybe the child is using pictures of an adult. This does happen. And by the way, if and when that does happen, that's still not the child's fault. Like what's going on in that child's home to make them feel like this is what they need to do to get attention. If this genuinely was one of those situations, first of all, it's weird that it happened once. It's weird that it happened twice. It's weird that it happened 3, 4, multiple times. At some point, it's not an accident. But even if it was, you just admitted online that you did this. You did commit this crime.
That's what I'm saying.
You did.
That's what I'm saying.
And you even called the people who are accusing you of
victims.
This crime your victims. You yourself, that came out of your mouth. And to the victims. Why did you not turn yourself into the police to give those victims proper justice? Because let's be honest, in America, what you would have only...
And at a bare minimum, mind you, all he did was take like 2 months off social media and then deleted that video. There are so many people from Ireland. Galway, County Armagh. What is going on? What are you people doing? You better get on a flight March 21st and come to that damn London show. Oh my God, this looks like I have like a big hump on my head because of Rena. Look. Hey.
You may not have even served any time in jail. They honestly probably would have just slapped your wrist and at most put a little ankle bracelet on you and told you can't be around children.
Crazy.
And that's pathetic. Okay, but why did you not turn yourself into the police? If you really wanted to right your wrongs, you acknowledge and you
It is really crazy to think that he sat his ass down on his huge YouTube channel and addressed, in his words, his victims.
see for yourself
Donegal?
that these were boys. You did cause them harm, and you could have prevented it. If you're such a good person, why did you not turn yourself into the police? Why have you still not turned yourself into the police? And why are you still skirting accountability? Because if you were genuinely sorry then you should still be just as sorry now.
Yeah.
You should be paying restitution. I don't know, whatever your victims want, they should.
Did James address this most recent situation? So, hi, New Jersey. So, James just doesn't address this anymore. I think James is past the stage of addressing when he gets called out for this. Isn't that crazy? It's not right. It really is not right. Like, imagine the luxury of never ever having to deal with pushback, number one. But then imagine taking that audacity as to anytime you're exposed for being predatory, you don't say anything. How are you abusing a privilege to like twist it to be this really weird thing?
Should get, and you should be more than happy to provide. And it's because he didn't care about taking accountability. He cared about posting a video
for the
to get
public.
him out of the hot seat.
Yes.
So this whole thing could just blow over and he can continue getting more rich and more famous and more powerful and more of a celebrity status.
It's again, when an influencer makes a video so that the audience can defend them by saying, well, there's a video. Why are you still calling them out for it?
And I mean, it worked. It did.
Have you ever met James at events? I've never specifically met him, but I ordered a drink literally right beside him at a VidCon party. The bar was like there, and then I was standing in front of it, and then there was two sides. He was literally right at that side, and I was literally right there. Like he could have literally gone like this to me, and I could have gone like that to him. Like we were right beside each other. We did not acknowledge each other at all. My friend did take a photo of us beside each other though, so I would be able to be like, LOL. But we didn't interact with each other. I think James would be more scared of me to interact with me publicly because obviously I would speak about it. And also he tried to expose me during the Colleen time in 2020. So I think specifically when I saw him in 2022, I don't think he was really wanting to speak with me.
I mean, he has a successful makeup brand. He's on TikTok literally all of the time. He's in everybody's comment section. He constantly is making memes of himself, even with everything coming to light.
Sorry, loving seeing where everyone's from, by the way. Alberta, CA. Where is everyone from, by the way? I'm in Utah. Edinburgh, New Zealand, North Carolina. North Carolina, you do good airport food. Quebec, Jersey, Oklahoma, Chicago. Oh, I love Chicago. I love Chicago. It's a great place. It's so amazing. So amazing. They have such amazing people in Chicago. They have such amazing, amazing people. Amazing people. Minneapolis. Minneapolis, such an amazing place. They've never seen somewhere so amazing. In Japan, oh my God, I will see you in like 30 days. New England, Canada, St. Louis, New Jersey, Canada, Massachusetts, Ohio. Ohio, I will see you next year. Iceland, Texas. Oh, I would love to be in Texas. I love Texas. I love Texas so much. They've never seen someone love Texas so much. I love the barbecue. The barbecue is amazing. When I go, I get huge amounts of the barbecue sauce. It's so big, so big. They've never seen someone get barbecue sauce quite like that. It's so amazing. So amazing. They've just never seen.
Right now, with Ethan Redd, one of his victims, coming forward, which we will be looking at his stories. And I did try to message him to see if he wanted to possibly come on this video, but he did not see my message, and that is okay. I'm sure he is getting an overwhelm of messages. But Ethan, if you are watching this video, I am in your corner. I stand with you. And if you want to come on my platform, on my YouTube channel, whatever, and do an interview and be able to genuinely just pour your heart out, I am more than happy to be that safe place for you if that is what you want. But yes, we will be looking at all the videos that Ethan posted in a little bit. But even with this recent upsurge of all of these allegations coming to light again with Ethan's videos, James is still not taking accountability. And again,
Also, it's so crazy because like people have been saying like, oh, Ethan's story has changed. It really hasn't. It actually hasn't. But again, why are you trying to give more pressure and pushback to the alleged victim speaking up rather than the person who has said that they have victims? A little bit weird.
and like I said, like if you genuinely see that what you did was wrong and you feel bad about it, you should face it head on every single time it comes up. You should face that and take it and be like, yep, I did do that.
Yeah.
But also, now that I say that, like, okay, we're talking about somebody who's messaging children. Literally, you should just not be online, period, end of story. It's not even like a face it, take accountability, and then you're fine. No, you actually should just not be online, period, end of story. You shouldn't be online. Clearly, you being online is a danger to children.
I think also admitting that it is because of your access to social media through your career that put you in these positions, the audacity to immediately come back and act like nothing happened is crazy. Like he actually is one of the few people that I actually would say that like needed to have taken a step back from the internet.
So you shouldn't be online, but he is. Okay. And instead of doing the literal bare minimum of eating his accountability and taking it, he is consistently in a mind-blowing pace deleting comments calling him a file. With this being the most famous comment, the PDF file picture, which I personally love and I think it's beautiful. And
People are so
I should have
clever.
posted under James Charles videos. But he is deleting these things, I mean, faster than people can upload them, right? Him, his team, it doesn't matter. So clearly he knows. Clearly, this man who harmed a child knows that that child who is now old enough to speak.
Because Ethan's video is like blowing up. And also, it's just so crazy to me that there are people out in the world, and this applies to James, that have like people speaking up saying that you were basically putting them in dangerous positions when they were a kid or inappropriate positions, and you choosing to like delete comments about it and not address it. That's so crazy to me that there are genuine people in the world that live their day-to-day life like trying to suppress conversation about that rather than like address it or shut it down. Weird.
Speak for himself and stand on his truth. He knows that he is online telling the world what happened to him. And instead of James taking accountability, he is deleting it, ignoring it, and memifying himself.
Yeah.
Oh, look at his page. It's memeable. Oh, he's so funny. He's so funny. He's so quirky. He's so silly and crazy. And he is a predator. And he's only making himself memeable and funny right now because he doesn't want you to know what he did.
Also, I think James admitting whenever the like Coca-Cola hello thing went viral, he was like, you guys can continue to like make videos on me. Like, you don't understand that like you're making me more viral or something like that. Because again, that further makes James funny to people rather than the serious things needing to be addressed. It's why so many people cannot take My Sister serious because of how memeable it is.
He wants access to you or your kids, who knows? So now I want to show you Ethan Redd's videos that he has made regarding his encounters with James Charles, and I just want you guys to watch the video
I also never saw the appeal in terms of like people finding him funny.
yourself. I'm just gonna have them play.
I love Lil
because I
Simsy.
think
Might
it's
I
very
suggest you
important
don't fuck with
that
my sis?
He is able to speak for himself. He is a victim. He went through this firsthand, and there is nothing that I can say or commentate about his experience that genuinely is worthwhile. All I can say is that I believe him, and I wish that he was believed from the get-go.
Hey guys, my name is Ethan Rhett, and if you don't know me, maybe this will help you out once again. So when I was 14 years old, TikTok kind of became like my escape.
14.
And then suddenly, I kind of blew up on TikTok. It was kind of like a kid's dream. People started paying attention to me. People were supporting me. It was everything I could ask for. I felt happy again after leaning towards that for my happiness, which doesn't sound good, but if you get what I mean, you get what I mean. So anyways, and then something crazy happened. James Charles commented and liked one of my videos. At that age and at that
And
moment,
being so fucking bold as well to comment on a fucking 14-year-old's video is so strange. It's also along with the action, it's the audacity to be so public doing it and so brave doing it, thinking that you'll get no repercussions.
it was crazy. It was pretty freaking cool. It's like I accomplished something, like, oh wow, a big creator is seeing me. Like I'm being put out to this person's page. I was not a fan of James Charles, but I knew
What was James' comment on the TikTok? Genuinely, I don't know, but I don't think anything is appropriate. Why are you commenting on a 14-year-old's TikTok?
who he was. I didn't really watch his videos or anything like that, but yeah, you're gonna know who that is. It's one of the biggest creators at the time. I was super
And James relies on that, reaching out to people that they know who he is and want to immediately respond.
shocked. I was super happy, and honestly, I could probably say I was proud. Not long after he messaged me, hey, I responded almost immediately. Who wouldn't respond? It was exciting, but that excitement did not last long at all. The fun didn't last long at all. It honestly came crashing down just as quick as it all happened. And I've already talked about this before. Oh no, I'm sorry. Anyways, months ago, I tried to talk about the situation once again, but it all came crashing down. I was getting threats, not just towards me, but to my family as well. People were messaging my family. People were calling me closeted. People were just doing some pretty mean things. And on top of that, my videos got taken down once again. So I said, you know what, I'm done and I'm over it. No one believed me and everyone thought I was just making something up, which is my fault because I never showed as much proof as I do have, and that's what I'm going to do now. The conversations I've
Why is he in a conference room? I've seen this video so many times that every time I watch it, I pick up something new. I'm like, come on, conference room.
had with my lawyers via email and conversations I've had with, the detective in that state at the time,
It could also just be a room in his house.
myself because, that's not just my privacy. Those people have families as well, and I didn't want to get them involved. But why should I protect people who never protected me? So I'm going to be speaking about it, and I'm going to be going deeper into it, deeper than I've ever been, with proof of me having conversations with my lawyers and emails and just everything else. I'm not doing this for the drama. I'm not doing this for the attention, but I'm doing this because the threats and the silence have gone on way too far, and my story deserves to be told in the full truth without hiding anything or backing down from anything anymore. What I'm going to do now is pull up the clip of me kind of first talking about it and getting y'all to understand the full story, and then after that clip is over, I'm going to be coming back and showing y'all the receipts of the lawyers I have and the proof of me being in contact with the Frisco Police Department and just everything else. So please just take time out of your day to watch this video. Even if you hate me and you don't believe me, please just try to understand where I'm coming from, and please let me show you the proof that I have.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Rhett, and if you don't know me, maybe this will help you. Before I get into the story, I want to say I am not meaning to hurt anyone's career or damage anyone's reputation. I just keep seeing things pop up on my page, and it's sickening, and it triggers me in a way, But back when I was 14, I wanted to do social media my whole life. It's something I really loved and enjoyed doing. I started blowing up. I maybe created my account 7 months prior before I turned 14 years old. I ended up blowing up, maybe around 700,000 followers on TikTok. Everything was doing good. I loved it. And it was just...
That's also the craziest thing is James is reaching out to these kids who are big on social media as well. Arguably even easier to figure out their age. If you're so stupid that you can't even socially, in a social cue, pick up on what age someone is, they are also a public figure. And most likely on famous birthdays.
It's amazing. James Charles commented under my post and liked the video, and it was exciting. You know, it was that's the biggest creator I've ever been in contact with or ever commented or liked my post. You know. Anyways, he ends up following me and he messages me, "Hey," I obviously respond. I'm excited, but that's where everything went downhill. It got really, really weird. Anyways, when we start going back and forth on TikTok, he initiates after a few days. Hey, add me on Snap. I'm
So
like,
creepy.
okay, you know, I was trying to hide the fact that I was excited.
So
you know,
creepy.
It was really cool. I was hoping that this was gonna jumpstart my career even more into being an influencer, being someone, you know, making others happy, and just that was my intention.
Also, there's something just so inherently even stranger. There's so many deep, evil, weird levels to this about reaching out to someone who's young, but also gaining notoriety on social media and then being a huge influencer reaching out. And they're so young, of course, they're then going to be more influenced to talk to you because they want the quote unquote like social climb aspect of it as well.
The whole entire time. Anyways, me and James start going back and forth on Snap, and he eventually asked me, you know, what do I plan on doing long term?
The fact he's willing to talk to any of these people on Snapchat just shows such a creepy aspect and level to him as well, because that app is notoriously known as people who are flirting or sending nudes or, you know.
So obviously my social media was picking up and et cetera, et cetera. But at the time, I really
Also, like, the people that I speak to and go on dates with, we don't talk on Snap. You know why? Because we're like above a certain age. No shade, people still talk on Snap, but it's a little bit weird to be at a certain age and that's your main source of communication with someone that you're maybe going to go on like a first date with.
didn't know. I knew I wanted to be something and be someone and help others and just be.
Oh my
an
God,
amazing
not
person
kick.
and
Jesus
spread
Christ.
awareness on social media, all that stuff. And I couldn't really give him an answer because I didn't know. It was, yeah, I wanted to, but is it something I really could do? You know. Eventually, ended up telling him I wanted to get into modeling or acting or maybe even both. And you know, he was very supportive about that. You know, he said, "Oh my God, you'd be such a good model. You know, you would do so well modeling and just stuff like
Ooh,
that."
talking to a
Obviously, I didn't see
14-year-old.
anything of it. I was young. I was happy he was saying I could do that, especially coming from a really big and noticeable influencer. You know, I thought it was great. Brother kind of didn't tell me in a way, but my brother he kind of let me do my own thing. But he kind of noticed. You know, he didn't. How do I word this? My brother didn't think about it as the way I thought about it. My brother kind of noticed something and I could tell, but it's just, he was kind of just letting me do my own thing. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm just going to jump into a more detailed version of it. I know y'all been waiting. I'm sorry. So James started getting extremely comfortable with me. And I just, you know, I was so excited. I didn't really realize it at the time. We were FaceTiming, which I will pull it up right here in this clip, this next clip.
This is just...
I don't think so. At least.
This makes
Anyway,
me
so
so
that part
sick.
was me on the phone with James that a friend of mine recorded just because he thought it was pretty cool as well. And I thought it was something cool to have. And I didn't think about it as any way.
Is there something so embarrassing about that he's doing all this, but then the people on the other side are recording each interaction in the moment, even when they don't in the moment realize how inappropriate it is? Because again, that's what you are to these people. Like, you're like a caricature.
To hurt him, and it stresses me out that my life is ruined because everyone thought that. It like, it's irritating talking about. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyways, James started becoming super aggressive with me. He would ask me to send him photos of my happy trail, which I didn't even have at the time. And
Oh my
'cause I
God.
was 14. I didn't have a happy trail, and I had armpit hair, but he didn't ask for that. And I kind of avoided the question because it made me super, super uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I lied, actually. I told him I shaved my happy trail.
I genuinely cannot believe that he has these allegations like out against him, and he still just gets to operate in a media space with a public comment section and not have to address it. It is absolutely unfucking believable to me. It's unfathomable, the place that we're at. That he gets the opportunity to suppress this, for people not to talk about this. This isn't the first time we're hearing about this as well. And he's able to continue to silence it? Are we serious? Do we have that low standards?
Because I was afraid to tell him that I didn't have a happy trail or have any hair on my body other than my armpit hair. So I'm sorry I lied about that. Anyways, you know, he kind of started being aggressive extremely after that. He told me, well, don't shave your happy trail grin. Again, because I like that. And he was very intense about how he said it. I know it doesn't sound bad, but it was...
No,
all
it
he
sounds
could be in my
it sounds like what it is. That James Charles as an adult was asking you as a 14-year-old to send body pictures.
shoes when that happened. It made me super, super uncomfortable. Anyways, I go to bed that night and I wake up to his sent to me, and it made me very, very uncomfortable. He would send me a photo of his behind in the mirror.
Sorry, we are... Ethan is telling us that at 14 years old, James Charles, an adult, was sending him nudes. How are we being told these things, but the person that we're being told them about doesn't have to acknowledge them or address them?
And he also sent me a video of him in the shower, which those videos are somewhere on the internet. I'm sure you can find it. If I looked, I could probably find them in a Google Drive that we actually had for my lawyer. Anyways, he started realizing that I wasn't into that. He started kind of making threats towards me, saying he was going to diminish my career. He could easily ruin my career.
And then after doing all that, you're taking it to a level of them threatening to ruin this person's life. Like, truly a dangerous individual. Quite honestly, the most dangerous person to have a platform.
Types of nonsense, and it was bad. Okay, it was really, really, really bad. It started getting super, super intense. He started saying he was going to ruin my career, go out and tell people I was gay, and I was
Which again is
which
just
isn't an issue. That's not an issue at all, but it was still the fact that I was a 14-year-old boy, and it scared me. It freaked me out. Anyway, so that's when I made that video. There's a lot more that happened in the story, but this video is about 5 minutes long, so I will be making a part 2. Thank you, guys. By the way, I just want to say I am not trying to diminish anyone's career. I'm not trying to ruin anyone. I'm just getting my story out once again because it was put under the rug, and it's not fair to anybody that has gone through this. Now, if you're watching this in the same situation that's happened to you, not necessarily with James Charles, but other people, just know I'm here for you. I'm there. Trust me, I've been through it, and there's so many other people behind you. It took a lot for me to make this video, and it's going to take a lot for me to make a part 2, but I have amazing people by my side, and I'm so thankful for that. So you can always reach out to me. Hey guys, I'm back to show all the receipts that I have of me talking to my lawyers via email. There's obviously calls, but I never recorded those, so I can't show you those. I did blur out the names and everything else.
Sorry, I'm letting this play for like, without trying to butt in, because again, this is his story and I don't feel the need to be adding ad libs
for
to it.
Privacy reasons. This has already backfired on me more than enough. I don't need it to backfire on me again. But yeah, here we go. I'm also going to be explaining why I never proceeded with this. There's a lot of reasons to it. I'm sure you can guess, but I'm going to be...
Sorry, again, it should not be on the victim to have to go through the traumatizing effort of reporting something as well. It should be, the conversation should be, why did that person do something in the first place?
Explaining everything here in this video. After talking to him on the phone, this was one of the first contracts they sent. I guess it's a social media warning and just a contract overall. It had to be me and my legal guardian signing it because at the time I was underage.
Isn't that crazy that someone trying to get like a legal case against you is so young that they actually need an adult to be speaking on their side and like signing legal letters? Isn't that such a crazy sentence?
Reaching out to the Frisco Police Department, which was the city I was in when it first occurred and first happened. So they wanted to get law enforcement involved, which is expected. I did too. But things just didn't work that way. It all got kind of messy, which I will explain. But here is the first email that was sent.
We've read this
after
before.
That, they wanted me to send all the evidence into a Google Drive, which I did. Here's that right here. I know this is not really anything, but I just want to show y'all, and I want the people that don't believe me to see that I was doing everything that I needed to do to try to get this taken care of and put it into it, or maybe stop him from doing it to other people. But here you go.
And again, because people have this like fucked up ideology that they only care to support a victim if they can show proof that they've like gone to the police or something. And again, it's like these people are always processing going through the thing that now you're trying to make them go through it by going to the police. You can want someone to have justice, but if you're relying on them to have justice to believe them or hear them out, then you're not a good person.
Now this right here, don't mind the first part. It's kind of just a repeat of all the other emails that I've showed already. But the second part I really wanted to show y'all because the lawyer is saying they reached out to the Frisco PD and the detective ended up calling her back. But she was, I guess, kind of busy. So they were kind of playing phone tag, but it was a good thing. Wanted me to be aware that they are trying, and they did reach out to the police department and everything else, which made me really happy. I remember actually, but here you go. the moment, those are the only 3 emails I have. I'm trying to recover the rest of them, but I'm going to explain what all happened with that situation because I've never explained it before and people never believed me that I ever even contacted a lawyer or got in touch with law enforcement or anything like that. Please don't judge me if I get emotional and get a raspy voice or you can't understand me. I'm gonna try to get through this strong, but it gets sensitive. To me, it's a sensitive topic, but let's get into things. So at the time when I was in touch with these lawyers and the detective, I was going through some traumatizing things. I was getting my address sent to me. I was getting threats. My family was getting threats. We were getting sent pictures of our house. It was a really awful thing. I started going into a depressive episode where I was too scared to talk to the lawyers. I was too scared to talk to the detective, and people kept pushing me to do it. Everyone kept pushing me and kept telling me I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to talk to him, I need to do that. And it was just, it became way too much for me. At that point in time, it became a lot. I ended up just shutting down. I ended up not posting. I ended up not doing anything. I stopped talking to the lawyers. I just ghosted them. I ghosted the detective. I ghosted almost every single person that was trying to help me get the justice and get the help I need. I left everyone in the dust. And that is something I regret deep down inside because this thing now, till this day, traumatizes me. Anytime I see a photo of him, see a picture of him, it's something.
Because again, he sees, James Charles continuing on without any repercussions for this, which is incredibly, unvalidating, I guess is the word.
Down. Anyways, a few days go by. Like I said, I haven't talked to lawyer, detective, nobody. Then they reach out and they're like, hey, maybe we can, get some money out of this. And it was like, what? There was kind of like, oh, he's not going to want to take this to court. He's not going to want to do that. So maybe he can give you some money out of this situation. And that just right there was just that at that point was literally my breaking point because it was nothing about the money. And it was a shame that they even said that. Yeah, after that, I completely cut all ties with him. Wanted nothing to do with that because it was never about that at all. But I still had all this hate coming at me full throttle, and I was just in shambles, and I was broken. I was being called.
People don't realize how much people who are at the hands of a social media influencer doing something to them really go through, because you go through the original thing and then you go through having to forever prove to people that it was true, but then you have the fan base of that person constantly against you. It's exhausting.
Closeted. I was being made fun of for being gay or bisexual, and that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter anyone's sexuality. And once I'm ready to come out with what I am, then I should be able to. I shouldn't be made fun of that or just because of a grown man preying on me when I was a child. Everyone was texting my family. Random people were texting my family saying that I'm gay, I'm closeted, all this and all that. It became such a big thing, and I was left broken and alone and had no support other than my close family. Anyways, guys, I still have so much I want to share with y'all, and I'm going to try to get those receipts and the rest of the emails today, so maybe I can put it into a video tomorrow. But I just want to say to the people that might be going through something that I'm going through, don't run the social media. Don't make the mistake that I did, because no one even believed me. All I can do now is prove my truth and hopefully get justice for myself once again, try to, and maybe justice for other people. But yeah, I'm going to put clips of the conversations with me and James here at the end of this, end of me talking right now. And yeah, I'll see y'all guys hopefully soon. Hey guys, I'm back. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. Also, it really does mean a lot to me.
That broke my heart whenever he was saying about don't go to social media with it because no one believes.
Here's me at 14 years old. Here's me also on famous birthdays.
Dude, the fact that he was on famous birthdays as well.
And I've been on famous birthdays prior to him even reaching out. So
Jesus
at that time,
Christ.
yes, it did say I was 14 years old.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
about to show you
Oh
next.
my god, even at the time then, it's 20.
Next is a video of me opening his snap on Snapchat of him saying 4 years. And what he's
Is he
implying
still only
on that
20?
4 years is 4 more years until I'm 18 years old. My brother wanted to record it because he thought it was super weird of
Jesus Christ, counting down?
him to say.
4 years. That
I have
is
a lot more
so
photos and videos I wanna share with y'all.
strange.
And for some reason, when I download them off the Google Drive, it will say downloaded, but it's not popping up in my camera roll. So I'm currently trying to figure that out at the moment. The last video I'm going to show you is a video of him telling me he doesn't like putting makeup on hot guys. And the reason why he told me that was because I saw he was doing his makeup, and I said, hey, maybe you can put makeup on me for a YouTube video. It would be a cool collab, and I'm trying to grow my page, because he made it seem like he was my friend and he wanted to help me and kind of give me tips and tricks.
I hate putting really hot guys into makeup.
Oh my fucking god. Like, I mean, there's just videos. There are videos of him sending to Ethan saying, well, I don't put hot guys in makeup. Talking to a 14-year-old.
Now, once again, guys, I still have a lot more I want to show y'all, and I just plan on probably making a YouTube video about it because I'm sick of all these short little clips. Once again, to all the people that have been supporting me, thank you, and I'm super sorry for not really explaining myself that much in this video. I'm just super sick of explaining myself to all the arrogant people who don't even really care about my explanation. They just want to see proof.
People who are going into it not believing you.
So I figured with this little bit I had right now, I could just share with y'all and hopefully maybe shut them up a little bit. Probably won't, but I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to try to recover the rest of the videos and everything else.
Hey guys, so as you can see, the video was taken down. What a surprise. We all know he did this. There would be no other reason why it wouldn't not still be up.
That's the craziest thing, that people who speak up against these people are the ones who get silenced by social media.
I have no words. I have 0 words for this, and I could honestly just cry right now. So the video was taken down for
harassment and bullying. The video was taken down of him speaking about what James Charles did to him. But no restrictions on James Charles's account, which he says he's used as dating app before.
And bullying. Okay, cool. So, why?
And by the way, this gives restrictions then on Ethan's account. Literally being punished.
His video still up for talking to minors. You tell me that. Why does he still have a platform for talking to minors? Make that make sense. It truly is a shame, but you know what? I'm going to keep my head up, and I'm going to fight even harder now. So that's the dumbest thing that he probably could have done. I'm not stopping now. So I'll see you tomorrow. He's just try to understand where I'm coming from. Everyone, it's Ethan again, and I just wanted to make this video to share on why I decided to speak out about this situation, because a lot of people are misunderstanding the whole purpose of this. My hope and purpose of making this story is hopefully inspiring young men that have been taken advantage by people with more power to still be able to speak out without feeling ashamed or afraid. Justice is...
And also, it's super upsetting and disturbing that so many people have been choosing not to believe Ethan because of the fact that he's like into like bodybuilding and stuff now, and they see him as like strong man, that they're like, oh, you couldn't have gone through things like this. Fuck off.
It isn't just for women victims. It matters for male victims just as much. And I'm seeing a lot of comments on this, so this is why I wanted to bring it up. A victim should have every right to speak their situation on something like this that have probably happened to them, and they deserve to be believed and trusted.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve all the negativity that comes with it. I'm not speaking out just for myself. I'm speaking out for every boy that has been silenced, ignored, and too scared to come out about a situation like this. The point of this video is to prove to everyone that justice is still able to be served even after being silenced for so long. Everyone should be able to have a voice, and I want people to realize that it's still possible to be able to stand up for yourself and speak up for something that you know isn't right. I hope my message gives other boys, especially even younger girls, courage and motivation to speak up and tell their truth about anything. There's still a lot more detail and everything else that I want to get into about this situation with me, but for right now, I'm gonna take some time to really get everything together so it all makes sense to everybody. But I just want to say I appreciate all the support I've been getting.
So much pressure.
Anyone that has been through anything like this, you can reach out to me, you can talk to me, and you can call me whenever. But please don't hesitate. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all soon.
And his latest post is just text that says, I still have so much I want to say.
Oof. That was crazy. I mean, oh, people just screaming outside. It's just it really is so deeply upsetting. And then forever being punished and your videos being taken down, but then the abuser gets no repercussions is just...
and share, but today I really needed a mental health day to breathe and clear my head. Seeing everyone stand up for justice has meant more to me than I can put into words. Not just for me, but for anybody out there who needs the courage to speak up. This shouldn't be about drama. It should be about awareness, healing, and making sure the people who need to take accountability finally do so.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have said that better myself. And Ethan, if you're listening to this, if any of James' victims are listening to this, if you were in a position that Ethan and these other victims were in a similar position, I want you to know that this is not your fault. And we should have never been in a position where we have to speak out about it, where we have to demand accountability, because our justice system should be handling that for us, period, end of story. It's not something that we should be sitting here eating ourselves alive over. We were victimized enough. And sometimes it feels like getting justice for ourselves feels like re-victimization. And so for this final part of the video, I want to go over with you guys how, as survivors and as victims, we can, to an extent, put that power back into our hands that was ripped from us. And that is by reporting the abuse. And I know that this is so much easier to say than it is to do. I know firsthand, trust me, but you need to report. That is how we take the power back. I know it's hard, trust me, but that is what we can do. We can report. So how do you report? Well, first, you need to compile your evidence. Evidence is a huge, broad range of things, right? There's physical evidence, digital evidence, verbal evidence, there's written evidence, all different kinds of evidence. Whatever piece of evidence you have against a person, an adult who has or is harming you, compile it.
Yeah. Neb, she's right about re-victimization. That's why it's so hard for them to speak out. Yeah. James doesn't have the capability to care. It's not within his human construction, physically, mentally, or spiritually. Well, I think it's because he has the option not to. He has the option not to address this and his career not be touched in any way or his bag not be affected in any way. And that's why he doesn't. That's why he doesn't speak up, because he has the opportunity not to.
If you have
it's not right.
Physical evidence,
it's not right.
Write things down and timestamp them, date and time that you wrote it down, what happened, who was involved, where it took place. All of these things can be used as evidence.
Keeping receipts,
screenshots, voice memos, phone calls, even like your data on your social media platforms as a whole. The police can subpoena and extract that data, and that can be evidence. The other thing is compile your evidence in an organized way, because in my experience, law enforcement, the judicial system, the courts in general,
it works against victims, dude. I mean, it really does. The system is not set up for victims at all.
You lose a lot of standing and they lose a lot of patience with you when you're flipping through your evidence. Yeah. And unfortunately, they don't care that you're the victim in the case. They just want you to be choppy. Come on, let's go. Compile it, organize it, date by date if you need to, category of abuse by category of abuse.
The lack of care that's used on victims, but the almost like babying of abusers is just outrageous.
You need to, but compile it in an organized fashion to where when an investigator, when a judge asks you a question about your case, it's almost like in your brain, like, oh, that's on this page. I know that's on this page. I know that that's in this folder. Or that
they do want the perfect victim.
And number two, bring your evidence to authorities. And I say authorities because this is a broad range, right? I don't know you. I don't know your situation. I don't know where these victims of James Charles live, if they're in the same state as James Charles. So I'm speaking very broadly here for a reason, because this is broad information and you can apply it to you, bean soup theory, if you will. But you need to bring that evidence to authorities. Now, oftentimes what this looks like for people is taking their evidence and bringing it to the police. And what the police will do is they will take that evidence, and if they find that there's anything like worthwhile in it, they will take that evidence and bring it to the district attorney's office of wherever you live. Yeah. And then the district attorney, the prosecutor, will then take that evidence and prosecute the person.
And I think so often people will not do these steps because they know that there's more working against them, which I think is why in situations like this, it's important to be speaking in support, or at least what's the word I'm looking for here? Platforming people who are speaking out against people in power.
And who harmed you. And now that's not me dissuading you from going to the police as a first resort. I think that you should go to the police. I think that you should cover all of your bases and do all of these things. I'm just being real. Okay, if I can just be honest, I'm just being real. Sometimes the police can be really hard to convince that you need help. And sometimes the police might try to pin the crime on you because you were the one who brought it to them.
Yep.
And that is just the truth in my experience, as well as having talked to many survivors across the country and also across the world.
It's so
there
fucked
are other
up.
organizations out there that can help you, such as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC. There's also the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, also known as RAIN, as well as the FBI if you're in America. The FBI Cyber Tip Line is a great place to go if you have information on internet crimes that are happening, which, yes, include grooming children, coercing children, as well as sending explicit imagery to children and asking children to send explicit imagery back. And if taking all of your evidence to the authorities does nothing, and there is no legal path you can pursue, it kind of feels like the justice system told you to just throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, well, didn't work out for me, like so many of us. There is one other option. And it's not the best option. I don't like it. I personally have not pursued it because I don't have the money to. But that is going the civil route rather than the criminal route, where you can sue the person who harmed you. You can sue them for emotional distress. I mean, like, you can sue them for, I guess, whatever you want to if you have a good lawyer who can help you come up with these suits to sue them. But that does cost money. And
Also, things like that is just so upsetting because it's like in all of these things, the victim is inconvenienced. The victim is out money. The victim is out having to be re-traumatized. The victim reliving things, you know? That's what people who do these things rely on their victims not having the energy or effort or wanting or money to go through this again.
I will tell you this personally, I have tried to go down this route. And maybe somebody in the comments can let me know if I'm just an idiot, but I'm not gonna lie, not to like discourage anybody. Again, I could just be an idiot and not know what I'm looking for. I have tried to find like a personal injury lawyer to be able to sue my biological parents for the abuse that I went through. Like in particular, I feel like a really easy win for me, a really easy lawsuit for me to win is the fact that I am deaf and I have to wear hearing aids. And those cost a lot of money because my stepdad thought it would be a hilarious joke to smack me in my ears as hard as he could. All throughout my childhood. Now guess who has hearing loss and auditory processing disorder? Me. And that's not to mention the grooming and the child abuse that I went through. That's not to mention the torment and terror that I went through going through foster care and just everything that I went through because of them. I have a hard time finding a lawyer. So be smarter than me. Hopefully you're smarter than me and you can find a lawyer because I just can't find one. And everybody keeps telling me that I can, but that is an option allegedly that you can take. I just personally have not been able to find a lawyer to help me, or they just don't call me back. That's a really fun one too.
Again, so much of this is money with lawyers and paying by the hour and only signing up to do cases if you're going to get a guaranteed win, or there's no nuance to it. And it's such an example of how the system isn't set up for victims at all, because it really is for victims who can afford it, or victims who are able to go through it, or who are able to find a lawyer.
Is when I just get ghosted by a bunch of lawyers.
Could you imagine the amount of people that would probably be held accountable if it was an easier system?
But if and when you do decide to go down the path of justice that you should not have to fight and forage for yourself, because let me make this very fucking crystal clear. I don't think any of these boys should have to fight for justice.
Yeah.
I think as soon
They
as
shouldn't have been put in that motherfucking place to begin with.
child comes forward with these kinds of allegations, it should be investigated immediately and very under a lot of scrutiny. I think it's completely disgusting
And again, keep in mind, Ethan spoke up in the moment or not far after.
and egregious and unfair that the American justice system puts the onus of collecting evidence on child victims. And if those child victims did not collect their own evidence of abuse in the way that the courts deem it appropriate or necessary, then their case can just be thrown out and it's as if it didn't happen. And your best bet is go the civil route. Go the civil route. That is unfair. It is unjust. And you don't deserve to have to go through this. You don't deserve to have to forge that path on your own. But if you are,
Unbelievable.
I hope that you have a secure support system. I beg you to have a sound and secure therapist, because there is corruption There is injustice within our justice system, and I don't want you to ever blame yourself or wonder why you weren't good enough to receive the justice that you do deserve. There are things available in the courthouse like victim advocates, and I encourage you to take full advantage of them. And of course, surround yourself with people that you trust, people that make you feel seen and sane. And most of all, just know that unfortunately, you are not alone. You are not alone in this journey, and it is not fair. And to everybody else who is watching, who may not have been a victim of James Charles, like I know I wasn't, but to everyone else who is watching, we can do something about this too. We can email TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and wherever the heck else this guy is, and we can send them Ethan's videos. We can send them all of these things and try our best to get him deplatformed. Me and you, we can send the FBI through the cyber tip line links to Ethan's videos and let the FBI know that, hey, there is a huge celebrity in LA right now who is massively influential to kids and young boys, and he has a historical record of taking advantage of that parasocial relationship. Can you please look into this? We have that power. We can do that too.
And you know what's so crazy? You know what also people could do? Just listen to people like Ethan. Listen to them. Don't immediately shut them down. Don't dismiss them. Listen to them. Like, yeah, imagine. Imagine. How easy is that? I'm already asking more than what is currently being done, by the way.
We can do that too. We don't have to just sit here and watch the train crash. We can go remove it from the tracks, our damn self. So all of that to say, when you hear victim stories, believe them. Believe them and support them and have their back.
Bare fucking minimum, by the way. Bare fucking minimum.
Favorite celebrity, even if it's your damn grandpa. Because at the end of the day, predators look like normal people.
Yeah.
They're funny. They can sing really good. They're great actors. And mine made me feel like I had the best daddy in the whole wide world. So much so that even my little brother, to this day, well, I haven't talked to him in years, but the last time I had the unfortunate circumstance of having to see him try to speak to me, still holds resentment towards me into adulthood that I was his dad's favorite. We need to genuinely accept in society, and this is what I've been trying to do with my videos, and a lot of people kind of criticize me for it, like when I talk about, I think about my Melanie Martinez video when I was like, yeah, she is objectively a very good singer. She is beautiful, but she's also a predator. And people were tearing me apart like, she did these horrible things. How dare you say she's a good singer and she's pretty? Well, she is. Fists can be. Pedophiles can be. Are you getting it now? Are you getting it now? Hello, are you getting it now? Really talented people can be terrible people. Are you getting it now? All of that to say, I hope that this is finally the crash and burn downfall of James Charles. Because
shout out to Danielle. I mean, I see now clearly why this video was sent to me. Again, this video and Danielle's channel will be linked down below. Go send love. A great video. And again, I just think it's like, when you see that compilation of what Ethan has been saying, it is so crazy that people still, this many years into knowing about James, are reliant. Or like James is reliant on people just not caring. Just not caring, Just not caring. It's easier not to care. It's easier not to have to go through this again. Which is why in his video, the holding myself accountable, when he says the line of we've already been through this together when I did No More Lies and it was all fake. Just listen to victims, allow them to speak, and don't try to shut them up because it's inconvenient. And we will leave it there. That was a great video from Danielle. Lots of love, and go send some love. And thank you, muckers, for watching as well.